Darwin, I think, need to make sure they push back and fill those holes, and that's probably the ruckman's call to get back there and do that, because if you give him a leap like that, he'll take nearly everything.
So Manson, geez, he's accurate, but he usually puts them through, but a shocking start for him anyway, puts it behind on the board. So the Tars leading one behind to Darwin, no score as yet. And it's interesting to see young Dane Bergman in the forward half. He's desperate for a goal and a specky, I read in the paper today.
Yeah, obviously leaving town to do some travelling, and I haven't seen Kelvin Williams out there yet either. Kelvin Williams, who started on the bench, I thought might have been a pretty good matchup on Waylon Manson today as well, but not sure what's quite going on there.
Shocking kick in there has been marked by Runnels, and Runnels will line up roughly from 35 metres out on a slight angle. So Bo Runnels wearing the glove as always. My gosh, it must be sweaty with that glove on. So Runnels.
Normally a pretty accurate kip, but we'll see if we put the mockers on him, like just before.
So Runnels comes in, lovely setup, and a beautiful looking kick. He's happy with it. And the Waratahs have got their first on the board today. 1-1-7 plays the Buffaloes yet to score. Been going roughly just a couple of minutes in the opening quarter of this round 5 clash between the Buffaloes and the Waratahs.
Yeah, Waratahs obviously heavily back to win this match, and I think that Damien Zaman and the Buffaloes will just be really keen to make sure they contest the footy all day and put their bodies in the line and try and contest everything to give themselves a chance to win those 50-50s, and from there I think they'll just be pretty happy for the day, because it's going to be hard for them one-on-one to match up on Waratahs. They've got the big full forward in Waylon Manson up front, and some good Thunder players in the side, Jack McEwen, Dane Bergman, and some of these guys who are in good form. So Darwin really just need to make sure they apply pressure all day and give themselves every opportunity.
Well, to see how much Darwin are actually under the pump, I got my team sheet all ready to go, memorised all the names from last night, got the team sheet in, and I've made 15 changes. So I've got black pen all over it at the moment as the Waratahs build up yet again. Good effort there by the number 28 in Mitchell, just on the half-forward line. Culpet, hand passes over, finds Seddon. Seddon, lovely looking kick, a little bit off balance when he kicked it though, and it's through for another one. And the Waratahs have started their run early. It is 2-1-13 to the Buffaloes yet to score.
Yeah, nice kick there by the Waratahs player. And I just talked about the pressure, and it really lacked that just then from Buffaloes. And already we can see some heads are dropped, and they really don't seem that enthusiastic out there. So they need to really stick at this, because Waratahs have been probably the form side of the competition so far, and really could apply the pressure pretty quickly, and it could get nasty. So let's hope for Buffalo's sake they can really have a crack here.
Terribly young side as well out there, the Buffaloes. So a lot of youth on display. So the future of territory football out there is definitely out there, just a couple of years earlier than expected, I think, for the Buffalo supporters. As they go in hard again, and the Waratahs got the ball on a string at the moment as it goes inside the forward 50, and Runnels marks laces out beautifully on the chest. And he's going to have a shot pretty much exactly where he kicked his first goal of the day, in those interesting sort of teal boots that he's wearing today, the number 7 for the Tars. So
already got an early one, so be keen to get a couple on the board early.
So Bo Runnels, roughly 35 metres out. Oh, geez, sort of stuttered his run up there. Usually runs in a little bit further and just sprayed it across. So it's 2-2-14 to Darwin yet to score. And the Tars really dominating possession early on in this game, as a big cluster of players building up at centre-half back, centre-half forward.
The wind's really not playing any part of the game today. It's just a slight breeze really, so not favouring either end. But it is hot.
So the Tars putting the pressure on, as the Buffaloes spread the pack inside their defensive 50. Long kick out, but it's a 2-on-1 situation for the Waratahs. Can the Buffaloes maintain the rage on this one, as Wilson is in there for the Buffaloes, trying to get it out. Tunnel ball action going on at the moment between both sides. Maybe in the back. Players jump on top of each other. And holding the ball is being given. And it will be a Waratahs free kick, roughly 55 metres out from goal. So the Tars look inside, look for Manson again. Getting the crumbs there was the Waratahs. Bergman could have a chance to kick a goal. He hand passes off, this time to Govers. He gets it out to the centre half forward position and finds Philo. So Philo wanted to play on, deciding to maybe look inside as he winds up for a big helicopter looking kick. Mosquitoes there around the bottom of that pack as the Buffaloes under pressure. Spinning out of trouble there that time was Marvin Thomas. Little kick away there was Collard. And the Buffaloes slowly but surely making their way out of trouble. But losing a handle on the ball was Zammit there for the Buffs as the Tars go back inside their forward 50. Straightening up the kick, looking for Bergman. He's got a bit of a paddock, but he's under pressure now. Gives a lovely little handball off to Runnels. He puts it high up in the air. Look for Manson here. And grabs, got two hands on it. Shakes and bakes around this and puts it through for a goal. Fantastic work there by Waylon Manson.
Yeah, great individual effort there, and it's good to see Kelvin Williams back on the ground, and he's matched up on Manson, and he was probably in the prime position there. He got the front posse, and they had another player at the back, but Manson was just athletic enough to time the leap well, get up in front. He brought it to ground without marking it, and eluded a couple of players to snap a quick goal. So I'm really looking forward to that contest all day today. I think both players are draftable players this year, and a few clubs, I believe, will look at both of them. So it'll be a good, really keen to keep an eye on how that contest unfolds for the day.
It's great for the league as well, seeing some of the young talent on display from various parts of the territory, obviously, and WA, where Manson's from. But it must be great for the league as well for players to be plucked straight from local clubs.
Most definitely, and I think the leagues this year have seen a lot more interstate players coming in earlier this year as well, which is already where the clubs are really having a fair dinkum go at trying to get good ladder position.
And the pressure's on definitely for the Waratahs as well, for players to keep their spots, with the likes of Kane Pettifer and Brendan Favola making their journey back up next weekend for that big game against Palmerston. As the Buffaloes finally get a centre break, that time through Wilson. Puts it in the area of Kelvin Williams, and it's seen over the boundary line. And, we start to see some great work there by the Buffs to slowly but surely get it inside their forward 50, as Kellett was around that scrimmage as well. As the ball is thrown in, at 60 metres away from the Buffaloes' scoring opportunity. Good punch away that time there was the number 15 in Ambrose. Another quick kick away, that time by Vagonia Daniel. High up and under. Plenty of Darwin Buffaloes at the bottom of that pack, but they couldn't get a hand on it, and they're off on the outer side. So looking to set things up. Mosquito in the area, along with Collyhole. But good work there by Henry Jr. Plays with him himself. He gets it back again. Jeez, he's done well from half back. Moves it to the half forward line. Doing a little bit too much fancy work there with it was the Buffaloes. Plenty of pressure, and they'll be happy to see it out of bounds, roughly 55 metres away from their goal. But great work there by Henry Jr. to keep the attack going out of half back.
Yeah, well done by Waratahs there. There was a bit of a stoppage in the forward pocket for the Buffaloes, and they managed to get it across the other side of the ground to Jack McEwen, and he had a fair bit of space, and I'm surprised he didn't run it a bit more, Jack. He had a bit more time there.
So plenty of players around this scrimmage at the moment, as the number 11 in Zammit moves it forward. Plenty of pressure on it. Kellett hand passes over, and it's seen through for a rush behind. So the Buffs get their first score on the board. The ball will have to be come back. Is that because of the waving of the flags?
It's actually because the umpire hadn't signalled with his hands yet, so that's why the umpire brought it back.
So the Waratahs through Philo on the outer side. Long booming kick. Geez, that was a wonderful kick there by the Tars to set up their attacking forward thrust right in front of the scoreboard, looking to go inboard. Two players were really trying to force a handle on things. Cranswick was there as well. And here we go, this time through the likes of McEwen. Geez, he's done some exciting stuff already this year. Gets it out into the Sandaree direction. He picks up, outside 50. Lace-out kick, looks for Manson, puts his high mitts up, doesn't get it. Bergman's there as well. And the Buffaloes clear.
Yeah, there's that contest again. Kelvin Williams wins that one, so well, 1-1 I'd say at this stage.
See, here come the Waratahs, this time through Smith. Plenty of pressure. Good work there by Kellett. Under pump. Buffalo's putting on intensive pressure at the moment. A great tackle. Be unlucky to be called in the back. Great work there by Craswick. And plenty of voice coming from the Darwin supporters there as their team trailing at the moment, 3-2-20 to 1 behind. Big punch away. Kept in, no. It's seen over the boundary line and it will be thrown in. So ball to be thrown in. Plenty of voice in front of this crowd at the moment. Little chip kick away. Trapping it there is Mitchell. Over to Bergman, to Mosquito. Jeez, he's exciting when he gets the ball. Laces out on the right-hand side, and it's touched on the line. Great work there by the Buffaloes to get back in time. But, geez, that was exquisite from Mosquito. As the Buffaloes, dropped what he probably should have taken there and long. Heads over there to Thomas. That's Marvin that time. And a good build-up here by the Buffaloes through Ambrose. So Ambrose with the ball on centre wing. High up and under kick. 2-on-2 situation. And a push in the back. And the free kick to the Waratahs.
Yeah, pretty poor kick then by the Buffaloes player. It just popped it up on their head, and Waratahs will eat them alive all day if they do that. So Jake Smart's got it again.
So Smart gets the ball back in the middle of the ground. Plays on. Already can see the effect that the heat is starting to have on this game. As a beautiful kick goes into Runnels. He keeps his feet. Could have played on, but the umpire's called the free kick, and Runnels will take the shot. This time 30 metres out on the other side of the ground, kicking towards the McMillan's Road end.
Yeah, Waratah so far seems to be playing through the middle of the ground, and I think largely that's because Lockie Michelle, who seems to be playing centre half forward for him, is really presenting up the ground there, and we've seen a couple of times he's dived to get the footy and give it off quickly, so he's a big important part of their early lead, I think. So
Runnels, good looking kick. Goal umpire didn't have to move, and it's through for another one. So it's 4-3-27. And I would have thought that Darwin had a behind before. It doesn't seem to be up there on the scoreboard, but we definitely know that they do have a behind. It was a rush one just a few minutes ago. So 4-3-27, the Waratahs lead the Buffaloes 1 behind.
That's the second one for Runnels, who seems to be pretty active out there in the forward line at the moment and causing Darwin a few headaches, so they want to make sure they get that match up right.
What do you think about the move, maybe, of the Darwin Buffaloes? Rumours running rife. The Buffaloes are all for it, but the Palmerston president says he knows nothing about it, and all of a sudden they're going to have another club maybe at their ground in the near future.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a magnificent facility, so I'm sure spectators in the Palmerston area will want to see as much footy on there as they possibly can. And from Darwin's point of view, I think that they're keen to go where the people are growing, and then we certainly know that Darwin's growing pretty quick. So to get their juniors base and plenty of players through the club.
Well, should be one story that we're definitely going to watch with interest over the next couple of months as it unfolds. As a free kick is given, this time to the Waratahs, and Timmy Mosquito will take it. He chips it across to Smart. Smart, inboard. Just wasn't a smart kick, if we can use that pun early in the game. Just missing out on Colliole as Craswick hand passes over. Finds the number 12 and Kelvin Williams. Bit of pressure there on the half-forward flank for the Waratahs at the moment as they get the ball back. And a high up and under kick towards the goal square. Manson dropped what he probably could have taken, under plenty of pressure though from the Darwin Buffaloes. Had too much on it there. Timmy Mosquito got plenty of time. Lovely goose step there. And a beautiful looking kick as well. Does he have enough on it this time? Yes, he does. And he's put it through for the 5th goal for the Waratahs in this first quarter. 5-3-33 to Darwin, 1 behind.
Yeah, again, just the pressure from the Waratahs players, and I actually thought Waylon Manson, who had a bit of a run at that ball in the goal square, was going to take one of his customary marks, but it spilt through for the back, went to Kelvin Williams, and just an errant kick really. He didn't have a lot of options on, but he probably just needed to kick it long and wide and just hope for some runners to get onto it or try and find the boundary. Instead, he's tried to spot someone with a spearing kick through the middle, and he really paid the price with a Waratahs goal.
With the heat as it is today in Darwin weather, is it probably safe to say tempo footy maybe for the Buffaloes with their skill level not up to it? You know, just slow it down just a little bit, wait for the right kicks. Is that probably the best way to go about it?
Certainly, I think it would be. But tempo footy, you really need some wise heads out there, and we know that the Darwin Buffaloes have got a very young side, and.
Yep.
And you know, Damien Zammit and his crew are doing a fantastic job, and they'll need to educate and try to keep those guys to try and get that style of play, because there's some really talented players playing in this side, but they just lack match practice, and you know, if they can stick together over the next couple of years, you know, there'll be a fair chance in a few years' time.
So the ball to be thrown in on the outer side of the ground, the scoreboard side of the ground. Tap down, Wilson, hand passes off. The Buffaloes, getting a hand on it there was the number 6 in Taylor Senior. He moves it inside the forward line. Really good attack on the play, but the Waratahs mopping up beautifully across half back. Under a bit of pressure though. In the area there is Hardy. Also maybe in the back, and definitely in the back there was McEwen. That time on the number 7 in Philpott. So Philpott in the shiny green boots today. Into the middle of the ground, beautifully chipped off there by the Tars. Going back from whence it came. Culprit. He got it off there to McEwen. Bergman. Just so deliberate at the moment. Oh, good work there by the Buffaloes to stop that forward thrust. Just inside the centre square at the moment is Wilson. So 50 metres. Being held up before he had the kick.
Yeah, I think a player's infringed on the 5 metre area that the player has to kick the footy, so a 50 metre call, and I think he's only given it about 47 because the square's 50 metres. But anyhow, positive play by Darwin. They seem to be starting to win a few more contested footy.
The worrying sign, though, looking at this forward 50 at the moment, there are more reds than blue shirts in there, and they're going to do it tough as the number 14 in Long moves it inside. Dropped what he probably should have taken that time. There was Vagonia Daniel. Looks like the Tars are going to clear yet again through Philo. Burst of pace out near the scoreboard. Timmy Mosquito and the number 8 in O'Brien for the Buffaloes. What a duel that is. Mosquito chips over the top, finds the target. Sandery has it. Play on, Culprit. Beautiful running there. And the Waratahs look like they're going to kick their 6th goal of the game, and they do so. Beautiful teamwork there by the Waratahs Football Club.
Yeah, that was exciting, and it really came down to work rate. When Waratahs won the footy, like you said, they really flooded back into defence. They spread really quickly, and Timmy Mosquito got the footy with too much space. Was able to really come back through the middle and I think spot up with Sandbury, and the quick hands from there really just didn't allow Darwin Buffaloes to push back quick enough, or they weren't working hard enough, and a really good goal. But again, the Buffaloes need to put a bit more pressure on.
So the Waratahs, just the hard-working unit at the moment, really making the most of these games at the moment. Philo was great running off half-back to score that goal there, as the number 6 slowly but surely makes his way back down to this centre half-back line. Jeez, he's got his hands on his head at the moment, as he should be, knackered in the hot sun here in Darwin this afternoon. Tap down, Waratahs again. Philo looks like he might end up with it again. But his mate wearing the number 17 today instead, and says, no, I'll go for a run now, as he moves it inside the forward line. And Runnels, a beautiful mark with the arms fully extended, and just used his body well. Geez, he's good overhead. Yeah,
great kick as well. Just put it up and allowed Runnels to run onto it, and he judged the leap perfectly. And yeah, great mark.
So Beau Runnels, a different sort of kicking style yet again, this time from outside 50, going for length and distance and accuracy, and he kicks another one for the Waratahs Footy Club. 7-3-45 to Darwin, 1 behind.
Yeah, ominous signs here. The footy got turned over and just too quickly back through the middle of the ground. But really a perfect kick for Runnels there, and he was able to finish with a nice kick from about 50 metres for his third for the day already.
So this score is really just starting to blow out already. And we thought this was going to happen at the start of the game. But we'll see what happens. Who knows what the Buffaloes could muster up in the next 3 quarters.
They've pushed a player behind the footy now, and I think it's Thomas Long is playing loose for the Buffalo, so probably not a bad tactic at this stage.
Collard trying to twist and shout his way through the pack, but the Waratahs again, through strength of numbers, move it forward. Manson eyes it beautifully, just not taking it in one grab at the moment, just a 1-2 step, and that's why he's losing his handle on the ball at the moment. Probably sweaty out there as well, as the Buffaloes go in hard. Collard again through the middle of the ground, this time through Begonia Daniel. 20 metres out from the Darwin attacking goal. Plenty of pressure on it. Here come the Buffs, and they get their first goal of the game through just tenacity and great teammanship. And they've got their first goal of the game. So it's a 1-1-7 to 7-3-45. And the Waratahs doing it comfortably at the moment. But that was exactly what Buffalo supporters wanted to see.
Yeah, it started well from the defence too. I think Kelvin Williams was the one that got the hand in to spoil Manson. And from there, they just hit the ground running and played pretty attacking and were able to get the ball inside 50 quick enough to before Waratahs could get their numbers back. And were able to scrummage a really good little snap goal. So well done, Buffs.
So Russell kicking that goal there for the Buffaloes. Tap down again. Well, they're winning the hit-outs at the moment, but the centre clearances are definitely not going their way. Seddon has had the ball on a string this afternoon. Beautiful kick, 2-on-1. Where are the Crummers at the moment? Bergman, usually playing in the half-back line, is in the forward line. Putting on pressure, O'Brien. Sharking the play there is Michelle. He gets it off there to Govers. Plenty of pressure at the moment. Bergman maybe holding the ball for the number 9 in the Buffaloes in Knight. And Dane Bergman, he said that he wanted a goal or a specky. And this would be fantastic. He's got a big grin on his face at the moment, the man that's about to go walkabout. So Dane Bergman, be about 40 metres out. NT Thunder representative, premiership player. And a goal scorer for the Waratahs Football Club today. The Dane Bergman gets his first. Not bad for a backman playing up forward this afternoon. 8-3, 51 to 1-1-7.
Yeah, Waratah's doing it quite easily at the moment. It's they've probably rested a few players as well. You called earlier, Edo, that Brendan Favola and also Kane Pettifer are due to line up for them next week. Stuart Cooper's not out there today, so they've got quite a good list they're forming, and you know, at this stage, I don't know. Do you think they're possibly the premiership favourites at this stage?
No, I like the Tigers at the moment. I do like the way that the Tigers are going about it. They've beaten proven contenders such as St Mary's, the Wanderers, two sides obviously that were in the grand final last year. I know it's early in the season. We shouldn't be getting too excited, but I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to the Wanderers taking on Nightcliff, December 18, round 11. It's just going to be absolutely tantalising stuff, and hopefully here at AFL NTV we've got the call. Odds are probably not, but if we do, we'll be damn excited about it, and we're happy to bring it to you on aflnt.com.au as the ball is just held up on the half-forward line for Darwin and the Waratahs, heading towards the Buffalo's end of the ground.
I think Jake Smart must be coming off with a potential blood rule. Yeah, blood rule, the umpire's calling. So
it's coming from the mouth.
Not sure what happened there, but we know that Jake always wears his heart on his sleeve, and he'll put his head where sometimes it's not supposed to go, and he's probably done that on this occasion and come off the worst. But I'm sure they'll get that sorted out pretty quick and he'll be out there.
I've just been told that the game on December 18 is at Nightcliff, so don't know if we can call that one. It is exciting though that it is out there in the burbs though, and I'm sure Nightcliff supporters will be out there. The Tiger Army will be out there in force, and we'll see what we can do. But it's at Nightcliff, so we'll see how we go out that way. There's an up and under kick taken away there by Taylor Senior. Geez, he got some height on that one as the Waratahs look to clear it again from the half back line. Look for Culper to get his hands on this one as they start to run it through on the scoreboard side of the ground. There's Kelpert now. He chips it inside, finds Sandery. Sandery running hard as they do. They're running in packs at the moment, the Tars. Runnels 2-on-1 situation. Bergman's there as well, keeping his feet beautifully. Good hard tackle there by the Thunder Premiership player. Manson there as well. He's got a good motor in him as well, but the Buffaloes got plenty of time. But do they have the accuracy on their kick? Good pick up there by the number 21, that time in Marvin Thomas, the man that's doing all the ruck work today. He gets it out to Collard. So Collard on the outer side. They're on their way now. This time Taylor Senior inside and finds the big man. He chips it over the top. The big man there was Begonia Daniel, and the number 13 in Durkee has it.
Yeah, well, I think the Buffs got lucky there because what happened was Waratahs ran the ball and they had numerous numbers running down the wing, all pushing forward, trying to give as many opportunities as they could. Well done by Kelvin Williams again and a couple other Buffaloes players who were able to force the turnover. But the fact that the Darwin Buffaloes forwards weren't chasing is a real worry, and they ended up winning the ball back, and which is why they had loose players over the other line. So Waratahs weren't able to push back hard enough. But that's a bit of a worrying sign, I think.
Well, Durkee's kick there was held up in what you would say there is no breeze. I don't know what it did. It sort of just floated through the air aimlessly and got rushed through for or behind. So it's 1-2-8. We think the scoreboard's wrong there with the Buffs, but we'll see what happens with that at quarter time to 8-3-51 as the ball is already in the forward line for the Waratahs. Runnels, plenty of time. He looks to hand pass it over and don't know where he was going with that hand pass. Looking for Collyhole maybe. They play on Quickland. Collyhole gets it again. Manson's there. Can he do something with it? Plenty of time, plenty of poise.
You betcha.
And through for another goal. And, geez, they sort of fluffed their way through a goal there for the Waratahs. 9-3-57 to 1-2-8.
I think Runnels got confused there because the little men in the AFL and most grounds, they don't normally handball, and he decided to do one there, and I think he probably should have had the kick. But Waylon Manson, he just made it really look easy. And that wasn't an easy goal by any stretch of the imagination, and he just easily won the one-on-one and loped around onto his favourite right foot and snapped it through. And there wasn't much excitement either out there for the Waratah supporters. It was just about your business type stuff, but that's a pretty clever goal.
It's a run-of-the-mill sort of thing, and most people at the ground are probably thinking this is a training drill at the moment for the Tars, but the Buffaloes, there they are putting pressure on. They had a chance for a second goal before through Durkee as they start running through the middle of the ground, that time through O'Brien. Lovely work there, and the mark has been paid to the number 26 in Russell.
Yeah, I think it was Liam Philpott there. He won it out of the middle and a great pass to Richard Russell, and normally a pretty good set shot for goal. We know he's got a long kick. Buffs really will be looking to make sure they get this one back.
And this is the other thing, the forwards haven't seen a lot of the ball today. They need to make the most of their opportunities in front of goal. So let's see if Russell can pop this through and keep the Buffs' hopes alive. So Russell, beautiful long kick, shapes it back through the arch, and it's in for another goal. So it is 2-2-14 to 9-3-57. Waratahs lead against the Darwin Buffaloes in this round 5 clash here at TIO Stadium this afternoon.
Yeah, nice kick. That's the second one for Russell, and it just came down to again Buffaloes winning the ball out of the middle, getting it forward quickly before Waratahs were able to push their numbers back, and Russell led strongly and was able to take a nice chest mark, and like we said, he's got a really good kick and was true to that on that occasion.
So ball back in the middle. Are the players from both teams allowed to go off into cool rooms or anything like that at quarter time, or will they stay out there on the grounds?
I don't believe they're allowed off the ground.
Okay.
They're allowed to come outside the boundary line to sit in the shade, but I don't think they'll be allowed in the cool rooms.
Okay. So Bergman and Ambrose. Bergman hand passes off. Waratahs linking up beautifully. Culpert, maybe it's his chance for a goal. He chips it around the corner, and a good fine mark taken there by the number 2 in Anderson. So Anderson sets it up for Williams, and they're off and running the Buffaloes. Just misjudging the kick that time. And that's quarter time with the Waratah Football Club, a 9-3-57 to the Darwin Buffaloes at 2-2-14. That's our score. We think that the scoreboard might have missed a rush behind earlier, but we'll see what happens here at quarter time. Just to check the scoreboard. And it is quarter time here at TIO Stadium for this round 5 clash between the Buffs and the Waratahs. Well, it's quarter time here at TIO Stadium as the players have gone off and used the cool rooms, the cheeky guys.
Yeah,
to do that, KB?
I think there might be a rule. I'd have to check with football operations manager Anthony Venez, but I think there might be a rule if you play the 2:30 game, they give compensation to leave the field. So
okay.
Probably a smart one in the heat that we play in.
It's a logical one, isn't it? Look, we look forward to some other games that are being played in the round today. A big one, St Mary's versus Tiwi. That's coming up next. Of course, these two sides battled it out in a grand final only 2 seasons ago. And how do you see the Tiwi Bombers going this season? I mean, they've sort of been sort of been up and down so far this year. I know it's early on. I'm looking forward to saying that it's not early on in the next couple of weeks. But how do you draw comparisons with their season so far?
Well, I think they'll be okay. They've obviously lost 3 in a row now, and playing a good side in St Mary's today. But all in all, you look at their sort of list and the players that they're potentially talking about coming to play for the club. We know they've signed Darryl White. No, we haven't. They haven't signed Darryl White. They were going to sign Darryl White. And
no, St Mary's have got
St Mary's have got Darryl White. But there are some good players that I understand are coming from down south. Some really good key on ballers, and that I wouldn't write Tiwi Islands off yet. Last year we saw them, or 2 years ago we saw them lose the first 2 games of the season, and they went on to win 18 in a row. And once they get their tails up and get a bit of a run on, I think they'll be okay. And no, I think they'll be around come March next year.
Any chance Austin Wanamiri might line up with the Tiwi Bombers? We've seen him be delisted from the Melbourne Football Club, as Melbourne Football Club fans would be sad to see him go, and obviously had a terrible last year at the football club, losing his uncle and also his father in a terrible car crash. Any chance? I know he's trying to get his life back on track over in the islands. Any chance he could line up?
Yeah, I think so. I think that he did an injury late in the season last year. I think it was his ankle or his Achilles or something like that. So I do believe he's travelled in with the group a couple of times this year, and is keen to play. Obviously, his first choice was to try and stay with Melbourne Demons, or probably even go to another club now. But if those things don't work out for him, I'm sure you will see him in a Tiwi Bombers jumper, or who knows? I think he still is actually a St Mary's player, so there's a possibility he could line up for them as well. But no, I'm sure he'll be keen to have a go.
Well, we're back here at TIO Stadium as Culper gets the kick away here for the Waratahs. Philo taps the ball away there from the Buffaloes, and they're off and running through centre as he goes through 3 players. Does it with ease. Takes 1 bounce. Outside 45. Can he straighten up the kick? No, he can't. It's through for a behind. And that is the first score of this second quarter. 9-4, 58 to 2-2, 14. So the Buffaloes huddling again at centre half back. Interesting looking kick. Tapped away there by Wilson. Seddon again. Geez, he's had a lot of the pill already today. So the Waratahs through McEwen. Deliberate setup. Swinging the ball around. Lacklustre kick there inside the forward 50 there to Runnels. And a free kick going to the Buffaloes for in the back. So the Buffaloes kick it out towards the scoreboard, end of the ground. Losing his feet there, that time there was Philpott. Waratahs going backwards to go forwards. James Ray, haven't seen a lot of him today. Been playing in the back line. As Culpert got a paddock to play with. Bit of pressure coming from the likes of Agonia Daniel. Hatcher to Philo. Back to Culpert, back to Philo in the middle of the ground. Waratahs, good looking kick. Manson lifts up like a gazelle off a hippo's back. And he will line up for yet another chance to push this lead into the realms of impossibility for the Darwin Buffaloes.
Yeah, well worked by Waratahs then. They just didn't rush the play, and then Philo, I think it was the one that did the little 1-2 with Culpert to get a bit of space, and just again, all you got to do is pop it up in front of Waylon Manson and give him a bit of a run at it, and his leap and his length seems to outplay most players.
But his radar is way off today. This is a man that's kicked over 30 goals in the last 4 weeks, and he's not happy with it at the moment. Maybe it's the hot weather, who knows? He's just off at the moment. He's kicked a couple of behinds and a couple of cheeky goals, so he's in and around the mark, but we know with Waylon he can kick a bag pretty damn quickly. As the Buffaloes on the outer side of the ground in the forward pocket for the Waratahs. Kick it away. Good mark there on the outer side in Anderson. And it's over the boundary line though. Not paid.
He just didn't quite grab it and spilt it over the line. So yeah, good call by the umpire.
So ball thrown in. Wilson, tap down. Dominating the headouts today for the Buffaloes. But it's the centre clearances and the clearances that I've been talking about that have been worrying for the Buffaloes as they move it forward. Plenty of pressure, plenty of work there, this time through Durkay. Keeps his feet, loses it just. Begonia Daniel Good work. Hand passes over the top there to Russell. Up and under. Ray. Also Durkay. Ray under pressure. Keeps his feet. Keeps it in. Chips it across. And there's plenty of Waratahs to clear this ball as they move it to centre wing. Out near the scoreboard. Good work there by Michelle. Playing ton of ball with it at the moment. Plenty of pressure on it there. Taylor Senior's out there. It's seen over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard, which reads 9-5-59 to 2-2-14. Waratahs leading the Darwin Buffaloes in this round 5 matchup here at TIO Stadium. So ball thrown in. Good work there by Wilson yet again to get the tap down on that one. In the area is Sandery. Getting a quick kick away that time there, the number 16 in Govers. And a free kick being paid there to the Buffalo. So they're on their half-back line. Can they set something up? Got nothing really to kick to. Just plenty of tars as they kick it out to the far side of the ground in Creswick. They've got to run. They've got to move. Touched off the boot. Henry Jr. under pressure from Timmy Mosquito. Creswick gets it again. And it's over the boundary line, this time in front of the grandstand. Holding roughly around about 100 people so far here today.
Yeah, pretty small crowd, and we probably expected that today with this game. But again, Buffaloes, they did the right thing by switching it across the ground there, but just the work rate to push over and spread out here just wasn't there, and Waratahs were able to slow them down, and now we see a turnover with them winning the footy.
Aaron Thomas pushing in the back. Free kick there to the Waratahs as Philo, a long booming kick. Manson's there again. Puts his hands up, doesn't get it. Buffaloes, plenty of them there, but this is where they're going to fall down. Have they got enough players to kick to as they chip it out? Good work there by Sandery. Plenty of pressure though from the Buffaloes. They're everywhere at the moment. Tripped. Wilson will take this one. So Wilson into the middle of the ground finds Philpott. He keeps his feet. The shiny green boots. Taken maybe without it. Timmy Mosquito has it down. He switches play. With an absolute paddock is Dane Bergman. Takes his time, chips over the top, does the team thing, and spots up Lachlan Collyhull.
Yeah, well played, Dane Bergman. Again, you said just given too much space and did the unselfish thing to draw the player and chip it over the top when he probably in his own right could have had a shot then.
So Collyhull puts it straight through the middle. Of course, earlier in the year he kicked 6 goals against the Darwin Buffaloes, had a great outing. And Dane Bergman, we've seen him do this a couple of times. He's just an absolute team player when it comes in front of goal. We saw him give off his first, obviously, to Brendan Favola a couple of weeks ago. And, just setting Lachlan up yet again. So the Waratahs leading and doing it comfortably at the moment. It is 10-5-65 to 2-2-14.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of playing a couple of seasons with Dane Bergman at Waratahs, and he is really that sort of 1%er player and does all the hard, tough stuff in and under and tackling and smothering and chasing, and he's an extremely fit athlete, and I'm sure Waratahs will be sad to see him going overseas, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll come back at some stage and don the red jumper and hopefully the Thunder jumper again.
So the umpire's got the ball back yet again. As I was driving in today, temperature about 34 degrees. Whether that's gone up or down a degree at the moment, you'll be able to tell by the players' faces out there. As the Waratahs through Seddon again. Hand passes over the top. That time finding Kellett. Just misjudging the lead there was Collyhull as Ambrose marks. He chips it over to Anderson. Anderson to the back pocket. And the Darwin Buffaloes looking for leads. Oh, I saw the idea. You could see it unfolding in front of your eyes there for Taylor Senior, but it's been chipped off there by the Tars. And they're going to line up roughly 40 metres out from goal. And should be an interesting chance here for the likes of Hardy. So Hardy, 40 metres out. Good deliberate run up. Good looking kick off the boot. And it's through for another goal. So it goes to 11-5, 71 to 2-2-14. Waratahs absolutely dominating at the moment And they look like they're setting themselves up beautifully before Christmas for another finals campaign later on, or early next year, I should say.
Yeah, again, just a turnover there, which, you know, when they didn't have much pressure going. But I think credit to Waratahs, because they're not giving them any time or any space to run into. They're actually playing a bit of one-on-one footy, and there's no freeze anywhere. So I think it was Kelvin Williams who just tried again to pick the tough one up and by kicking it, but unfortunately turned it over, and Waratahs had a pretty easy shot for goal in the end. So they just need to start playing the percentages a little bit more, Darwin, and just go wide, take them time, and if there's nothing on, just go the long option.
Konitska wins the tap out. McEwen has the ball, laces out, finds Runnels, doesn't take the mark. Here comes the likes of Palmer. So Palmer, plenty of time, running with the ball. It's good to see from the Buffs. Can they use the ball a little bit more wisely? Wilson into the middle of the ground. Another shocking kick. Govers picks up the ball to Culpet and passes off. They're off and running. That time through Philo. Mosquitoes there, but good call out there by Waylon Manson. And he's going to go back and line up for another one. So their half-back line working beautifully. You can see Heath Culpet and Philo just having a chat at the moment, trying to work out some more tactics as they build up for the next couple of weeks. And Manson.
Yeah, really direct, and it just seems that Culpet, his role out there is really the general, and he's bringing other players in the game, but just those little handballs then. We saw the run from behind. The half-back flankers, as you say, they're really controlling the game at the moment. There's lots of run there, and an easy kick and mark to Manson again, who's slotted through. I think it's his second, or was it his third today?
I think that's his third. And he has missed a couple. Relatively easy shots, you would say, for Manson, and I have been looking forward to seeing how he'd go here at TIO Stadium, because we've seen him obviously on a smaller ground at Gardens really dominate proceedings in the first couple of rounds. Smaller ground, ball comes in very quickly and forwards love that, whereas here he has to use the space a little bit more. And I was actually speaking to Tom Parker, the media strategist, I should say, management strategist for the Melbourne Football Club, and he's got an eye on him as well. So Melbourne's looking at it at the moment, and they asked about his engine, and I said, well, we'll find out this weekend at TIO Stadium and see how he can run and chase, because that's what AFL clubs look for. It's not that you can only kick straight, and obviously Brendan Favola would be still playing if he could kick straight, which he does, but it's his engine, it's his second efforts that AFL clubs are madly keen on, and hopefully Waylon Manson does get picked up in the next couple of weeks. November draft, November 24, and the December draft in the second week. I think that's December 15, but I'll check that out for you as the ball's in the middle of the ground. Just a bit of volleyball action between both clubs at the moment. This time through McEwen on the wing, trying to find Philo. Philo put under pressure there by the Buffaloes, doing a good job, getting a kick away now. Waratahs trying to look after the ball, kick inside the forward 50. Manson again, maybe being interfered with. Runnels is at the bottom of this pack, just misjudging it. Ambrose hand passes, and happy to see it over the boundary line in front of the McDonald's sign, and it will be thrown in.
Yeah, Waratahs just under control at the moment, and we can see at the moment as well that if Buffaloes do win the footy, that Waratahs have just set up a great wall across the middle of the ground, and it won't be getting out too easy, and I can tell you that.
Manson doing the ruck work that time. Hardy with the helmet on. Plenty of time. He could even waltz up to 50 if he wanted to. Looked in the Bergman direction. Oh, cleaned up there was Bowie. Runnels going for a big punch. But the defence of the Buffaloes, and now they're just kicking in hope now. Good mark there by Durkay in front of Smart. Plenty of space. Now the forwards have to work here for the Buffaloes. Had to go for it, and a good strong mark taken there by Begonia Daniel. Under pressure, knew the hits were going to come. And the man wearing 35 will line up from roughly 30 metres out, and, well, for Buff supporters, they're hoping that he can go straight through the middle. So Begonia Daniel, 30 metres out. Nice little skippity sort of run, and through the middle. No worries about that one. That's how the forwards like it. They get their third goal for this afternoon. 3-2-20 plays 12-5-77.
and that's what can happen. We saw Waratahs build the wall behind their forward line, and the quick kick from Darwin, though, was able to get over that wall, and if they can do that quick enough, they'll give their forwards a one-on-one chance, and we saw two good marks then, and getting in quickly, there'll be a chance to kick a goal.
So the ball making its way back into the middle of the ground. I must say that TIO surface has come up a treat after the resurfacing from a couple of weeks ago. It's looking good. Obviously some real dry patches, but that'll be even more lush after the wet season has its dose of rain, especially in January. Tap down there by Thomas. Here come the Buffs. Begonia Daniel again using his body beautifully and starting to become a presence in the last couple of minutes. Has to be a good kick. Jeez, just misjudging that one there was Marvin Thomas. And here comes Kellett. So the Waratahs in a good build-up along centre wing in front of the grandstand. Michelle to Mosquito. Smith's gone forward. Mosquito's run all the way back there to Michelle. Put him into a bit of bother. Geez, they've sort of mucked that up a little bit, the Waratahs. Wouldn't be happy with that. And the ball will be thrown in.
Yeah, Timmy was dancing on a bit of a 20-cent piece there, and in the end he gave it to Lockie under a bit of pressure and forced the football over the boundary line.
So ball to be thrown in, right in front of the grandstand. Couple of hundred, starting to build up. Obviously the big game coming your way after this one with Tiwi taking on St Mary's. Should be an enticing clash. Make sure you get yourself down here if you are in the city areas today. You are watching this on AFL NTV, aflnt.com.au. A big hello to our viewers wherever you are watching anywhere around the world. It's a bonus about hooking in as the Waratahs kick another beautiful goal, and they're happy with that one, that time through Philo. 13-5, 83 to 3-2-20.
Yeah, great goal by Philo, really. No one was around him, but the handball came out quick to him, and he just punched at it really low from 50 metres, and it travelled about 55, 60 metres, that kick, but really accurate and really good kick for goal.
We were mentioning before with some of the former AFL players to come back into this side, such as Favola, and also Kane Pettiver, who was also playing for East Perth this year. We saw him when they played the Thunder up here for a Foxtel Cup clash. And no, it'd be really good to see those guys coming in there. But the likes of Philo and also Seddon, who have had a lot of the ball, are stating their claim to stay in this side, which have been so dominant so far in this early part of the season, as the Buffaloes move it along the outer side, along the scoreboard wing. Taylor Senior's there, and it's just seen out of bounds on the full, in fact, and just sloppy kickingly the Buffaloes down at the moment as they come into Philo, who we were talking about before. Hardy in the centre of the ground. Big booming kick. Jeez, he's got a paddock. He can run as far as he likes at the moment. No Buffaloes player coming towards him. He could keep coming, but he does the team thing and laces out to Runnels. And Runnels will line up on a tightish angle, roughly 30-odd metres out.
Good build-up again from Waratahs. They just keep switching the play across the ground and giving their forwards lots of opportunity to lead into space. And another good lead by Runnels, who's going to be kicking for his fourth goal.
So Beau Runnels in the shade of the grandstand. Roughly been going 15 minutes, nearly 20 minutes in the second quarter. High up and under kick. And it's through for another one. So Beau Runnels kicks 4 before half time. And they stretch their lead even further to 14-5, 89 to 3-2-20. And the Waratahs really doing a job on the Buffaloes today.
There's a few tired bodies out there already, and we're not even quite at half time yet, but even the Waratahs players seem to be feeling the pinch of the heat out there, and but Darwin Buffaloes just need to make sure they stick in it and try to make it a one-on-one contest, and really just try and win some contested footy and get the ball going their way.
Speaking of that, as a football player yourself, you were out there today representing the Pines Footy Club. How do you go pacing yourself when the sun's shining, the birds are chirping, and the heat is on out there? You can't as a footballer. You have to go hard. There's no 70% out there. It must be quite trying in the conditions.
Yeah, pretty tough, particularly for me, who's not the fittest bloke running around. But it comes down, I guess, to rotations and really just making sure your players have plenty of rest in the right spots. So the coaches have a big part in that as well, I think.
And you can see the Waratahs down on the bench at the moment. They're actually just lining up to go on and off. We see a lot of the big clubs when they come up here. Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Gold Coast and the Western Bulldogs, when they come up next year for their AFL clashes, that's what they do. They base themselves near the interchange gates instead of out near the cool rooms and just get on and off the ground. Just 2-minute bursts, run as hard as you possibly can, and away you go as the Waratahs line up and look to kick another one. Lachlan Collier just waiting for the all clear. He doesn't know if he kicked it or not, and he's got the all clear. And the Waratahs go to 15-5-95 to 13-2. I should say 3-2-20. Buffalo supporters will be pretty excited with 13 on the board. 3-2-20.
Yeah, you're spot on with the interchange there. The Waratahs seem to be making really regular and almost set changes, I'm sure, where the Buffaloes haven't been using the bench as much. And Damien Zammit, the coach, he's out there playing today as well. So I'm sure he's trusted with a couple of his assistants in doing those changes for him. So it's really a big part of making sure your players get through the full 120 minutes of footy.
So the umpire has the ball back in the middle of the ground. Koniska wins the tap out. McEwen again. Working well together, those two at the moment. Gets inside the forward 50 as the forward pressure comes on from Bergman from the Waratahs. Could create an opportunity here. It's the Buffaloes. This time trying to kick it out. Get it onto the outer side. And a deliberate setup yet again. So out near the scoreboard. Chip it across. Trying to find a target, but yet again. And I think if you were Aaron Thomas, you'd be pretty frustrated because that's 2 kicks in a row where he's gone for a lead and they haven't hit the target. As the ball comes into Philo. Begonia Daniel. Philo takes a couple of bounces. Heard some footsteps coming his way from Collard. Got the turnover here, the Buffaloes. They can play on quickly here if Wilson wants to. Just has a look and there's nothing to kick to really. As the Waratahs match up pretty quickly. Russell's there. Wilson wants to go quickly. Plays on. Arches his back just to get some more length on the kick. Good work there by Russell to get back on the line. Still on there and it will be thrown in. I thought Russell was just going to tap it onto a Waratah boot there, but it will be thrown in. So in the forward pocket for the Darwin Buffaloes. Craving, needing, wanting a goal. Tap down. No one there on the goal line there for the Buffaloes except for Philo for the Waratahs as he looks just to clear it. And kicks for touch and gets it, so it will be thrown in. Smart kick in the end. He had nothing to kick to. Yeah,
good clearing kick by Waratahs and just playing safety first. And we'll see what they try to do here. It seems to be every time when they're in this sort of position at half back line, if they win the footy, they try to switch it up. So seems a bit of a game plan. Buffaloes read it in the last play and were able to cut it off and had a shot for goal. So I think Waratahs are deliberately just trying to switch it as much as they can.
So Knight has come onto the ground for what it looks to be the number 8 in O'Brien. Meanwhile, the Buffaloes have got a big chance here as Knight gets the ball. He's got plenty of time. Helicopter looking kick. Good work there by Durkay. What a fantastic mark, and that should be 50. Hatcher pretty pumped up about it. He thought he got a pretty decent mitt on that one. There's Durkay. Jeez, another wobbly looking kick as the Wanderers defence didn't know what to do with that. Smart twisting and turning. Good tackle there by Wilson. And he lets his opposite number in May know all about it. So a bit of feeling in the Buffaloes. They've got a chance to score a goal here. Trailing quite badly at the moment in this second quarter. 15-5-95 to 3-2-20. Thomas tries to tap it down. Now locking it up. May wearing a bandage from that blood rule a little bit earlier. Russell's there. Thomas tap down. Collard's there as well. Up and under. Plenty of Buffaloes around it. Good pick up. Going hard there was Kellett. Culprit. You heard the smack on the players there. They're going in tough at the moment. Good work there to get the handball to Wilson. Oh, shocking looking kick. Thomas goes in hard. Needing in the ball at the moment. The Buffaloes, they're only metres away from their goal and the ball will be thrown up. And this is good to see. So only a couple of minutes to go, you would say, in this second quarter. And the Buffaloes have awoken from their slumber as Thomas taps it forward. Trying to get it out. Tunnel ball action. Culprit standing over it. Diving on it there was Thomas yet again. This time Purdy trying to worm burn it out. Anderson taken. May. And the ball over the boundary line on the 50-metre line. And the ball will be thrown in right in front of the Darwin Buffalo cheer squad.
Yeah, much better pressure by the Darwin Buffaloes there. They just seem to be putting the pressure on, and the supporters, as we can hear them in the background, are getting behind them a little bit. And so this is a sort of performance we need for the entire match.
So the Buffaloes. Thomas tapping it against Konecka. Here we go, the number 6 looking for a beautiful goal in Taylor Senior, and he's kicked an absolute ripper. What an absolute gem of a goal right in front of us. And that is the spark that they might need to get themselves back in this game. 4-2, 26 to 15-5, 95, and just the intense forward pressure really did help them get that goal. Yeah,
they just lifted the intensity there and fought for every possession, and the ball came forward of the pack, and Taylor Senior really he just dropped it onto his opposite foot, I believe, and it came off nice and clean and managed to go through the middle. A really good goal, actually. Probably the goal of the day so far, I think,
Definitely the goal of the day. Absolutely poetry in motion. Banjo Patterson would have been happy with that. As the ball is thrown up, Konecka taps it down. This might spark the Buffaloes with another quick goal. They're trying to get the handballs out. Culprit finds Kellett, loses a handle on the ball. Plenty of pressure coming his way. He's got no one to hand pass to. This time, though, the big man, the ruckman, Konecka, gets it out to Bergman. He hand passes over, and the Waratahs look like they're going to get a very, very quick reply. And they just made that look so easy after all that work for the Buffaloes to score their goal. The Waratahs go bang and say, that's how it's done.
Yeah, I think that was Lockie Michelle that might have kicked that one, but again, it just one of the players from Buffaloes, I'm not quite sure who it was, just went off his opponent and caused a quick one over the top from Dane Bergman. So an easy goal in the end, and it just comes back, I think, to the Buffaloes making sure they try and do that one-on-one footy all day and be accountable and stay on their man and try and win those 50-50 contests, because that one there is just too easy, and that's pretty disheartening to the group, particularly those ones that fought pretty hard for that their goal only moments earlier.
16-5, 101 plays 4-2, 26. Only a few minutes remaining, you would think, in this second quarter. As the ball makes its way into the middle of the ground, and the umpire's wearing the caps today. Smart idea, especially if you haven't got any hair on my head like I don't. The ball just sort of brings back memories when Jimmy Steins wore a hat playing footy for the Melbourne Footy Club a couple of years ago.
Oh, a bit more than a couple, I think, there.
Begonia Daniel. John Purdy mopping things up for the Tars. A Smart gets a little quick kick away. Hatcher. Konecka, the big ruckman for the Waratahs, just not kicking it to each other on the full at the moment, and Michelle sees it over the boundary line, and the Buffaloes, a bit of energy at the moment. It's come from nowhere. Let's see if they can get another one before half-time. So the umpire throws it in, high up and under, tap down, Konecka, and seen back over the boundary line from whence it came. We'll see if the boundary umpire can put a little bit more into it this time. Bends the knees. Plenty of players around it. As the interchanges go on for the Buffaloes at the moment. Wilson coming back on. Tap down there by Konecka to Bergman, to Purdy. Purdy, a lovely long looking kick. Runnels in the area, but didn't really go for it in the end. And a good strong mark taken there by Palmer. So Palmer with the ponytail. Off to Philpott. Philpott at true centre half back. Switches play. Got plenty of time. High up and under kick. No players really going for it that time. Russell's there on the outer side. Just losing a handle on the ball. Still in the vicinity of the Waratahs. Purdy gets that one. Goes backwards to go forwards. Culprit, centre wing. Off to Kellett. He's had plenty of it today. Back to Purdy on the outer side. Purdy can go all the way if he wanted to. It looks like he is going to have a ping for it. Just fall short, but a good mark taken there by the likes of Collyholt.
Yeah, he's been good today. More running in towards the open spaces, but this time he's taken a good overhead mark, and again, probably just a little bit slack by Darwin. They probably should have tried to get a hand on that one. But on a tight angle, we'll see what he can do.
So Lachlan Collyholt. Check side kick. Hand easy as you like. Unsure if it's gone through or not, if it hit the post or not. And they're just having a conference at the moment. Lachlan Collyholt seems pretty confident with it though.
Yeah, senior umpire Martin Noonan there is called in the troops, the boundary umpires and the goal umpire, just to confirm, and looks like he's got the one hand up, so...
It's through for... It's hit the post maybe for a behind? Yes, it has. It's hit the post. Just shaved it.
Waratahs don't seem to be arguing too much, so likely that was the result, I would say.
So 16-6-102, plays 4-2-26 as Wilson marks on the half-back line. Wilson, little chip kick over to Knight. Ambrose lining up along the wing here. Also is Philpott, back to Wilson. So Wilson inboard this time. Finds Collard. Ambrose on the far wing, and he's going to end up with it. Instead, it goes to the likes of Craswick. So Craswick in front of Bergman. Big high booming kick. Got some hands on it that time was Russell. Going without it was Henry Jr. Mays there as well. Ambrose trying to keep it in control. And this is where we were before, where we saw that brilliant goal from Taylor Sr. Ambrose putting the pressure on. High. Russell gives it back to May. Should say Sandery. Off to Philo. McEwen's in the area along with Kellett for the Waratahs as they build up beautifully on the outer side through Hardy. And a lace-out kick there to Runnels. And geez, they moved that absolutely eloquently right along the outer side. Switched play beautifully, as you mentioned before, KB. And they just seem to know what they're doing with the ball, whereas Darwin just seemed a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, Darwin seemed to put their eggs into one basket, I suppose, up in this deep pocket here. The pressure was good, and unfortunately just gave away that high tackle, but Waratahs, after winning it back, switched the ball quickly and had the loose numbers on the outer side, and really did it pretty easily to Runnels there.
So Bo Runnels after the siren. 30 metres out. Good looking kick off the boot, and he sprayed it though. And it's through for a behind. So that will go to 16-7-103 at half-time. To 4-2-26 with one of the goals of the day and maybe the season so far. We have seen some exciting ones already. But that great goal there by Taylor Sr. early on. Tucked up here on the boundary line after 5 minutes of really strong work there by the Buffaloes. And that is the sort of momentum that they need going into half-time to have even a say in this game, but at the moment it seems all done and dusted. 16-7-103. The Waratahs lead the Darwin Buffaloes 4-2-26 here at TIO Stadium.